friends. How are you today? So, one thing that you're going to be seeing from me more and more often is the concept of relationship intelligence. It is a part of the framework that Authenticity has created. But within that framework is also the listening intelligence component of it, which I became certified in last year. Over the course of the next few videos, I'm going to tell you a little bit about listening intelligence and listening etiquette as a component of relationship intelligence. I'm going to share my screen right now. And today we're going to be talking about listening intelligence and what specifically it is and how do we leverage it within the relationship intelligence component of what we do. So there are four ways that we listen, four listening preferences that we have, and they fall into connective listening. Pay attention to the arrows here. They are pointing out because connective listening preferences are listening to the impact of the community or our company or our family. It's listening with the intent of how does this impact others. Reflective listeners are listening for the impact of how do I put myself in these shoes? What is it applying to me? What experience do I have that I can relate this to ultimately? And then the analytical listeners are listening specifically for the analysis, the data, the prove it to me concepts in terms of the case study and all of that data and that information that you can provide. And then finally, the conceptual listening preference is the one that these are the big idea people ideating over and over again, talking about the what if, those innovative listeners overall. And knowing who we are will depend upon the listening preference that we have. But that, much like Clifton Strengths, is only one piece of the puzzle. Self-awareness is always great to have, being reflective in terms of who we are, the strengths we have, the listening preferences that we have. But it's only one part of the equation. We have to have empathy and curiosity for the other person on the other side of the table and really being able to adjust our own style. Because listening preference, for instance, is a habit, unlike Clifton Strengths, which is more behavioral and personality based. Listening intelligence is more habit based, and they are things that we can ultimately accommodate for who's on the other side of the table. Like I said, these are all components of relationship intelligence. Stay tuned. I'm going to tell you a little bit more. Listening intelligence and how do we apply that from a listening etiquette standpoint. I'll provide more details coming up soon. If you want to know more information, don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. Thank you.